Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I don't live in Brookfield, but the church that I pastor meets here in Brookfield. William Pitt, the British statesman, once said that necessity is the plea for every infringement of human freedom. It is the argument of tyrants. It is the creed of slaves. And what we have seen here in these days is that the tyrants in America have learned that the virus is a perfect narrative to tyrannize the citizenry. And I speak against it because it's all based on a lie. They said that we needed this lockdown to keep the hospitals from being overrun, but they were never even close to being overrun. The nurses in our congregation will attest to that. Friends who work in medical field will attest to that I have across the country. They said it was to flatten the curve, but the curve's long been flattened and it never did get as high as they said it would. The government and the health experts have lied about the number of deaths from COVID, counting those with COVID as part of the dead rather than those who died from COVID as being part of the dead. Now that the numbers have gone down for the last 2.5 months, now they're counting new cases. Well, when you're testing millions of people, of course there's going to be many new cases. And I could go on, but I'll be respectful of your time. And let me simply close by saying this. I could talk about many more lies. Tyranny is built plank by plank. The Jews didn't one day get called to the edge of the railroad and be told to get onto the boxcars. There were 1,000 little acts infringing upon their liberty prior to that. One of the first laws that was passed was that Jews could not sit on a park bench, could not sit on a public park bench, and the Jews accommodated themselves to that. And then there was another law, and they accommodated themselves. There was another law, and they accommodated themselves to that too. That's how tyranny operates, until one day the final solution takes place and the boxcars are there. This is an infringement of our liberty men fought, bled, and died for, and I, for one, am not going to sit by while tyrants try to take away what they established for us.
And now to our big story tonight. A local pastor is under fire after comparing a mask mandate to the Holocaust. That comment was made during a Brookfield Common Council meeting on Tuesday. Madeline Anderson joining us live with more on the controversial statement and the community's response to it.
Well, city leaders here at City Hall say they've received numerous complaints from people deeply offended by the pastor's comments. And this isn't the first time he's been at the center of controversy. Brookfield Common Council members rejecting a proposal this week to recommend the Waukesha County Health Department mandate masks. During the public comment portion of the meeting, local pastor Trewhella spoke out against the policy, arguing that small infringements upon people's liberties paved the way to much larger atrocities like the Holocaust.
Tyranny is built plank by plank. The Jews didn't one day get called to the edge of the railroad and be told to get onto the boxcars.
When you compare the persecution and the slaughter of millions of the Jewish people during the Holocaust to wearing a piece of cloth on your face, you minimize the suffering of millions of people and their descendants.
The statement, which received cheers from the crowd, left Brookfield Alderman Mike Hallquist stunned and disturbed.
I don't know how to describe disgust other than to say you get that internal feeling inside of when you've just witnessed something very wrong.
Trewhella is no stranger to controversy. He founded an anti-abortion group called Missionaries of the Preborn in the 90s and made national headlines then for blocking abortion clinics in Milwaukee.
What we're choosing to do is to not focus on a moment in time that is hate speak.
Mark Shapiro, president and CEO of the Jewish Community Center in Whitefish Bay, says he's hoping to drown out the negative noise with a teachable moment, unveiling a new initiative Thursday amid the pandemic called Mitzvah Mask Up. And Mitzvah Mask Up, the JCC says, is to promote that wearing a mask should be equated with a good thing, not a negative thing. Now, the Milwaukee Jewish Federation is also condemning the pastor's comments and is hoping that it is calling on him to recant them. And we have a full statement from the Federation up at fox6now.com. Reporting live in Brookfield, Madeline Anderson, Fox 6 News.
All right, Madeline, thank you for that.